the Rogers Center in Toronto. It's going to be a huge crowd as they make their way in for Game 2 of a 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Revy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox are certainly a different team with Dustin Pedroia in their lineup. Missed him for a long time, gone with a hamstring, but he's playing good baseball.
I had a great night Wednesday against the Baltimore Orioles. Down in Baltimore, a couple of home runs from Pedroia, a 2-run shot and a 3-run shot, and there he gets a hanging breaking ball inside that he takes out of the ballpark. Later on, a fastball that's up and in. That's really in the zone that Pedroia loves the baseball, and again, he takes it out of the ballpark for the home run. So 2 in that series against Baltimore. And what's amazing, look what he's done since coming off the DL. Remember now, this guy had no rehab assignments, no at-bats to the minor league level. In 6 games, 379 for Dustin, 3 doubles, 3 home runs, and 8 RBIs. He missed 42 games with a hamstring, but he's back right now at 100%. He's still getting time off, as he did like last night, because they don't want to rush him out there every single day to make sure the hamstring's okay for the rest of the year.
He's in the lineup today for the Red Sox, a team looking to bounce back here against the Blue Jays. They got to deal with R.A. Dickey on the mound for the Jays. He's 10-11 with a 4.08 ERA. On the other side, it'll be Wade Miley in this game for Boston. 11-10, a 4.41. His 30th start of the year, the most consistent Red Sox starter. We're back with the first pitch right after this. America runs on Duncan. Toyota's website for deals via Toyota.com. DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox. The Kia Sorrento. Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Now back in the beautiful city of Toronto as the Red Sox and Blue Jays continue this 3-game weekend series. Red Sox losing here last night. As we get ready for Game 2 of the series, let's check in with Garen Austin. Garen.
Thanks, Don. It's been an electric atmosphere here at the Rogers Center with sold-out crowds. Even the playoffs already sold out. Interim manager Torey Lovullo spent some time here and talked about this environment.
Last night was pretty special, and I know that they have the look of a playoff team. They have a magic number. I know that these guys are excited from knowing them and watching them play. And we all have been there. We know what those moments are like, and they get this crowd behind them. It's a pretty special place. But, you know, how it relates to us is we're watching this happen. We're watching what a championship or a first-place team looks like. We're watching our young players play against those guys, and I think it's a great learning experience for us. And we expect to come in here and play 2 more tough games and not back down.
Well, they've been selling out here 9 of the last 10 home games of the Blue Jays, and they now, by virtue of their win last night, the Yankees loss, have a 4.5 game lead over the New York Yankees heading into today's action. Again, the Yankees playing today against the Mets in the Subway Series, as the Red Sox here again for Game 2 of the series. And we'll have to deal with R.A. Dickey. Spent a lot of time this morning with John Gibbons, and he's certainly very excited about this team and the way things are going. And Jerry, he was talking a great deal about the guys that they got at the trade deadline. You talk about huge pickups, and they've all come here. They've all done incredibly well.
Yeah, it really seems like it's turned this whole organization around. You know, a few moves, critical moves at the deadline. And it was kind of a team that was staggering along. It was good, but wasn't good enough, you know. And all of a sudden, they make these deals, and all of a sudden they feel like, you know, yes, we're good, and they're playing good, and they feel like they got a team that can go all the way to the finish line. So yeah, it is exciting for the people here in Toronto. It's exciting for John Gibbons. It's exciting for the Toronto Blue Jays. The other thing Torrey mentioned that, you know, is impressive too is the fact that the young players on the Red Sox have really not witnessed, you know, something like this. You know, since they've been up here, it hasn't been very good for them. Now you're in the middle of a pennant race. You're in the middle of playing teams that are going to go to the postseason, whether it be the Yankees, whether it be Toronto. And that's a good test for them. That's a very good test for them to, you know, play against this kind of competition this late in the season.
And in this kind of atmosphere as well.
Yes.
As the crowd last night, playoff-like, and it'll be the same again today. Well, the Blue Jays have taken the field. So let's check out the Red Sox starting lineup. It's brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers. Now leading it off for Boston, Mookie Betts is going to be in right field for the second straight day, with Dustin Pedroia back on the lineup at second base. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop with David Ortiz, the DH. Travis Shaw back at first base with Rusney Castillo in left field. Brock Holt at third base bats seventh, with Blake Swihart doing the catching eighth, and Jackie Bradley Jr. in center field bats ninth. The Blue Jays starting pitcher presented by New England Nissan dealers. R.A. Dickey on the mound for his 31st start of the year. 10 and 11 individually with a 4.08 earned run average. 118 strikeouts to 60 walks. And opponents hitting at 250 against R.A. Dickey. Did lose last time out, going 7 2/3 at New York against the Yankees. Gave up 5 earned runs. Walked 2, struck out 2.
The Blue Jays defense is brought to you by DraftKings. They are 6th in the American League with 77 errors on the season. Josh Donaldson will be at third base. Ryan Goins, the shortstop. Cliff Pennington at second. And Chris Colabello, the first baseman. Left to right, Ben Revere, Kevin Pillar, and Jose Bautista. And Russell Martin doing the catching for R.A. Dickey.
Umpiring crew, Dan Iasani has got the plate calling the balls and strikes with Alan Porter at first base, Brian O'Nora, the crew chief, at second, and Mark Rippinger is the umpire at third. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
Well, they're expecting another sellout here today in the Rogers Center. Raining outside currently, so the roof is closed on the inside. And the Red Sox dealing with another former Cy Young Award winner. Of course, R.A. Dickey, a Cy Young Award winner with the Mets in the National League. And before coming here to the Toronto Blue Jays, Red Sox have done very well against Cy Young Award winners this season. Verlander 2-0. Hernandez 2-0. Those were unbelievable games against Hernandez. Corey Kluber, the Red Sox beat. 3 out of 5 against Dickey. And CC Sabathia as standing in as Mookie Betts to get it started here in the first inning. 290 with 15 homers and 71 runs batted in. R.A. Dickey ready to work here to begin the ball game. And the first pitch will have to wait here as he backs off. Mookie last night with 2 hits. And a ground ball to deep third. Donaldson on the backhand. Throw in time for out number 1.
Well, that's kind of the way to set the tone defensively. Donaldson making a very nice play down that third base line. Betts hit the ball very well. Could have easily got by him for 2 bases. Instead, he's there to the backhand on one knee and up with the strong throw to first base to get Betts.
1 down brings up Dustin Pedroia. He'll take strike 1. Really hitting at 295 overall in the year. 12 homers, 42 runs batted in. Pedroia on the bench last night. Of course, the Red Sox playing on the turf here. So one fouled back and out of play. Comes in with a 7-game hitting streak. As Xander Bogaerts waiting on deck. A good series against Baltimore. It was 5 for 10 in that series. Lunging after that pitch away.
We got a couple of very quick workers in the game today. Wade Miley for the Red Sox and R.A. Dickey for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Big difference home to road. You talk about splits. Wow, 8-3 in home games, 2 and 8. And this one to left center field for Pedroia. It's going to get down, and it's a gapper in the alley. As Pedroia heads for second base, Pilar, the center fielder, will get it back in, and Dustin is thinking about 3. He will get 3. Head first slide into third base with 1 out.
Well, you know, they were playing him shallow out there, Pilar and Revere, and he finds that gap between those guys. Now, I thought Dustin was going to stop at second base, but he just continued on. The play is in front of him, so it's his decision to make. He doesn't need help from a third base coach on this. Right now he knows he's got a double, and he's possibly thinking about 3 right here as he takes a peek out there and then turns it on a little bit.
So at third base with 1 down, and Xander Bogaerts the batter. Xander thought about it, but he takes the strike. 3:21 to start the day for Bogaerts. 5 homers, 72 runs batted in. That'll drop in there for a strike at the top of the zone. Xander didn't think so.
Not just barely at the top of the strike zone, and it really dipped once it got by Bogaerts. Right there he gives up. He thinks it's going to be high, but look where it ends up.
Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Dickey with that runner at third. 2 down.
Once again staying upstairs, but up and away this time with the knuckleball. You see the locker rotation on the seams, and Bogaerts chasing that high away knuckleball. So that leaves Pedroia at third base now with 2 outs.
There's David Ortiz, the DH. 273, 35 home runs, 97 runs batted in. To right field, Batista coming in to make the catch that ends the first inning. Red Sox lead Pedroia at third. Blue Jays are coming up. Of the first inning as Wade Miley deals, and there's strike 1. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. 30th start, 11-10, 4.41 the ERA. As Ben Revere almost ducked into that pitch. Get your face out of the way.
Yeah, that's the way to get him off the plate right there, as that fastball runs back inside on Revere, and that kind of opens up the outside part of the plate for Miley. Actually, that ball was not that close. I mean, it was close to the hands.
Here's a liner the other way, and the left center is going to drop in for a base hit. Let's check out the rest of the Blue Jays starting lineup, brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Ben Revere in left. Josh Donaldson at third base with Jose Bautista in right. Edwin Encarnacion is the DH with Chris Colabello at first base. Russell Martin does the catching with Kevin Pillar in center. Ryan Goins, the shortstop, bats eighth, and Cliff Pennington at second base bats ninth. John Gibbons talking today about Ben Revere and the fact that they really did not have an everyday left fielder before the trade deadline. When they picked up Revere, he was just another guy that comes over, and while not a lot of fanfare came with that move, it certainly has been great for them. And Ben in left field every day now, leading off for them. Of course, losing Reyes in the Tulowitzki deal, so they needed a leadoff hitter, and it's worked out great. As Donaldson has worked out great, could be the MVP in the American League. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. There he ranks in the American League. First in RBIs with 120. Average up over 300, and looking for his 40th home run of the year.
Miley today making his third start against Toronto this year. 1-1 with a 6.55 ERA in the previous two.
Good size lead over there for Revere. As a swing and a miss for Donaldson. On deck, Jose Bautista batting in the 3 spot for the Blue Jays. Strike 3 call. Donaldson knew it. Takes with him the first strikeout from Miley. Must have been looking for something else.
Yeah, almost fooled right there, looking for another pitch, because he gets the fastball right down the middle and takes it for strike 3. The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They're 11th in the league with 88 errors on the season. Holt, Bogarts, Pedroia, Shore in the infield. Castillo, Bradley Jr., Betts in the outfield, and Swihart doing the catching.
1 out, 1 on, and here is Bautista. 251, 35 home runs, 102 runs batted in. And it's outside for ball 2, 2-0. A lot of walks for Bautista, too. Tied for first in the American League with 98 walks. He's third in RBIs. That's 26 games. He has 26 walks. 462 on base percentage for him. Down and in, 3-0.
And of course, these big guys, the home run hitters, they'll have the green light. 3 balls and no strikes.
There are plenty of home run hitters around this Blue Jays lineup. Takes strike 1.
That's a nasty pitch by Miley. He knows they got the green light, so you got to make something with quality on a 3-ball, no strike count. Goes fastball down and in right at the knees.
Battles back. Strike 2. The arsenal for Miley this year. Ball 4. Walk for Bautista. Two on, 1 away, and Encarnacion coming up. 273, 33 home runs, 100 RBIs. Strike 1. But low that time for Miley. 16 for 28 since August the 3rd for Encarnacion. Miley falls behind 2-1.
Now, certainly against this club, better to miss down there than up high. Up high, you got to get beat and beat bad.
Swing and a miss, and the bat goes flying into the seats.
Totally fooled that time on the changeup from Miley, and this may set a new record. That bat was set the long way.
And the box seats here are set back pretty good
yes,
at the Rogers Center.
They certainly are.
A long way to get out there. In the air to right field. Back goes Betts. He'll have room, and he'll make the catch. Tagging at second base is Revere. He'll get to third, and there are 2 outs in the inning. So they're at the corners now with 2 down, and Chris Colabello coming up.
Ball sounded good off the bat, but didn't have the carry on it. A fastball that's down and in, and he tries to inside out it to the opposite field. Mookie Betts has no problem making that play. Miley doing his job by getting up, getting back and recovering third base.
So 2 down, first and third. Here is Chris Colabello. First to check at first on Bautista. Colabello having a very good year here for the Blue Jays. .329 with 14 homers, 53 runs batted in. 2 previous years in the major leagues with the Twins. As that picks up the outside edge. Runners in scoring position at 366. He's got Revere at third, Bautista at first, 2 down. Trying to work his way out of a first inning jam, and they have. It's on the ground to short. Bogart's going to go to second for the force out that ends the inning. So the Blue Jays strand a pair. We're scoreless. is 0-3 with a 4.94 ERA and 5 starts against Boston. Only pitcher in the last 100 years to make it at least 6 starts against the Red Sox in a single season without earning a victory was Dick Fowler, 1946 Philadelphia Athletics, 0-6 in 6 starts. Twisted tea is the hard iced tea. It tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. Travis Shaw leading it off here in the second inning. Shaw, Castillo, and Holt face R.A. Dickey. Dickey gave up a 1-out triple to Dustin Pedroia in the first inning, but then got Bogarts to strike out, Ortiz to line out. Foul tip there by Shaw. Line down the left field line, foul.
It's interesting, you know, the dome closed today because of inclement weather outside, some rain falling, but Tim Wakefield used to like to pitch in domes.
Yeah, Tropicana especially. On the ground, foul. R.A. Dickey certainly liking it here in the last 5 starts. 5-0 with a 1.72. On a batting average of just 191 against him. Full count to Shaw. Rusney Castillo, then Brock Holt anticipated in the inning. There's a ground ball to Pennington at second base. 1 out in the second. Wednesday marks the halfway point to St. Patrick's Day. We'll be celebrating at Fenway. Join us for the festivities, including Irish step dancers at the gates. Limited tickets are available at redsox.com/Irish.
You'll be Don Osillo that night.
1 out here in the second inning. Jerry O'Remy.
Yes.
Rusney Castillo bats with 1 out, bases empty. Flared foul off to the right, out of play. 3 in a row retired now by Dickey. Look out as Castillo's got to jump back out of the way.
Shading Castillo slightly to the opposite field and playing fairly shallow for Castillo in center field and right field.
Swing and a miss. Full count now.
No fastball that time on the 3-1 count. He stays with a knuckleball against Castillo.
Fouled off to the right, out of play. We'll do it again. Dickey had won 3 straight, beating the Angels, Tigers, and Indians. No decision at Fenway Park, and then the loss last time out against the Yankees, giving it 5 runs in 7 2/3. That was at New York. And he walks Rusney Castillo with 1 out here in the second inning. First walk allowed by Dickey. Rusney down to first base, and he'll bring up Brock Holt. 280 to start the day for Holt. 2 homers and 40 runs batted in. On a base hit here last night, going 1 for 4. 25th pitch for Dickey. And it is ball 1. Blue Jays as a team at home are 48-25 on the year. On the road, an even 500 record, 37-37. A decided advantage here at the Rogers Center. And great crowds have been coming out as this is out to left center field. Pilar racing back, but it'll be Revere, the left fielder, who makes the catch. As Castillo goes back to first with now 2 down.
See Revere saying that ball sliced back in his direction. Of course, it would off the bat of the left-hander. And Revere there to make the play, taken away from Pilar.
So 2 down, Castillo at first base, and here is Blake Swihart. He's 77, 2 homers and 25 runs batted in. And John Gibbons saying before the game today that it is going to be Russell Martin who'll be doing the catching here for Dickey. It's generally Josh Tolley who had caught Dickey 12 starts, but they did not want to give up the offense that they have to give up to keep that marriage together. So as it works out, Russell Martin is going to be in there, and he's done just fine catching Dickey, and see how that combination works here the rest of the way. Figures he's got 3 more starts left in the regular season.
And if you get to postseason too, you're not going to have your backup catcher in there in a postseason game catching Dickey. So you might as well have Russell Martin get used to it.
Hasn't caught him since August the 18th, and it's only been a few times. Here's a liner to right field, and that's in for a base hit. Over to plate is Bautista, heading for third is Castillo. He'll get there, and the Red Sox have runners at first and third with 2 down.
First hit Swihart has had off of Dickey. He's now 1 for 3 in his career as he lines his ball to right field. A topspin line drive that Bautista will just get into second base. Castillo with 2 outs, certainly going on contact, and has no problem making third base.
First and third, 2 down. Jackie Bradley Jr. digging in. 263, 8 homers, 36 runs batted in. Has been quiet at the plate lately. And a ground ball right side. It is Pennington. Throws out Bradley Jr. and ends the top of the second inning. Still scoreless from the Rogers Center. As the fight for roster spots begins, it's the Devils versus the Bruins. Preseason coverage begins tomorrow at 6:30. Russell Martin leading it off here in the bottom of the second inning. Martin, Pilar, and Goins. .241 average coming in for the Blue Jays catcher. Swing and a miss there as Miley sends it down and away. 1-2.
Yeah, very good changeup by Wade Miley, keeping it down and away from Russell Martin.
Swing and a miss, and there is strikeout number 2 for Wade Miley of the day.
We got Donaldson on a changeup back in the first inning. It's a breaking ball this time, a curveball from Miley over the top to get the strikeout against Martin. Ball going down and in to Russell Martin, and swings right on top of it.
1 out, Kevin Pillar, the batter. Center fielder for the Blue Jays, batting out of the 7th spot in the order. And a roller foul outside of third. 261, 10 homers, and 47 runs batted in for Pillar. And a swing and a miss, 1-2.
Once again, a good curveball from Miley. Coming more over the top that time with the breaking ball and bouncing it under the neck of Blake Swihart.
Swinging a foul tip held onto by Swihart. Back-to-back Ks for Miley, 2 down.
Well, from the breaking ball back to the fastball for Miley, and he's done a good job, very good job so far in this game, keeping the ball down. There's the fastball that's going to be down in the zone, inside part of the plate to pick up the strikeout.
Inc. Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. 2 down here in the 2nd inning brings up Ryan Goins. Shortstop hits it on the ground to Pedroia at second base. Miley has a 1-2-3 second. We head to the 3rd without a score from Toronto. Down a strong fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Tweet your photos now, brought to you by T-Mobile. Mookie Betts leading it off here in a scoreless game, top half of the 3rd inning. That's getting his 2nd look at R.A. Dickey. That's grounded out to Josh Donaldson at 3rd base. There's a ground ball fouled outside of 3rd. 18-game hitting streak against the Blue Jays, 416 along the way for Betts. Pitch inside, and it is now 2-1. back to the screen. 2-2. DraftKings.com is paying out over $300 million this baseball season. DraftKings has given out $34 million to Boston residents alone since the site launched. Get your free entry into a one-day fantasy baseball contest today using promo code NESSON. That's now Pedroia next. And a pop-up foul off to the right out of play. Alex Spear, the Boston Globe, pointing out what Betts on pace for 40 doubles. Williams and Yastrzemski, only Red Sox to hit 40 doubles. Out of the age of 22 is the 2-2 pitch in the dirt.
A couple of times now that Dickey has made a delivery and kind of tripped as he's made that delivery with his landing foot.
Line into left field, a base hit for Betts. And that is now 19 straight games that he's been able to get a hit against the Toronto Blue Jays. And Jerry, you feeling the pressure?
I hope he breaks it by a lot. It's not going to happen this year, though, so he'll have one more year to sit on it. But Mookie really puts a charge in this ball. 3-2 knuckleball and takes it right out there to left field for the base hit. Good job against the knuckleball right there by Betts, keeping that head in the baseball, staying back as long as possible, getting a good look at it.
So the lead runner on in Betts, and Pedroia now jumps back out of the way, and Mookie's going to take second base without a problem. So it kicked off Russell Martin there to his left, and Betts in a scoring position with nobody out.
Ball just kept going inside, 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 and a piece of the leather on it, but that's about it for Russell Martin.
Pedroia takes the strike. Martin was charged with a pass ball that allowed Betts to get into scoring position at second base. Pedroia golfing it foul off to the right out of play.
That's what he'd like to have back right there. It was a good place for him to hit. It had a good swing at it, but fouls it off. Not too much dance to that knuckler.
On the ground left side, Goins will look the runner back at second and then throw out Pedroia.
It's tough to do things that you normally do against a knuckleball pitcher. For example, right there, Pedroia, trying maybe to hit the ball to the right side. But the problem is, the pitch is so soft that it's hard to move that pitch, a knuckleball, to the opposite field. You're just happy to make contact on it. That time the result, the ground ball, a shortstop, and Betts has to stay at second base.
Now Xander Bogaerts, who struck out swinging in the first inning with a swing and a miss here for strike one. Only strikeout so far in the game for Dickey. Off the end of the bat, foul, 0-2. Get immediate care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. The IDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. So David Ortiz waiting on deck with one out and a runner at second here in the third inning. Bogaerts fouling it back again.
Bogaerts came into the game today a .360 career hitter against Dickey. Dickey did strike him out back in the first inning.
Pickup play at second, and back safely was Betts.
That's a different kind of move to second base, isn't it?
Yes.
You got to really hustle to get back on that. Play put on by Pennington, and that weird throw to second base by Dickey. You don't see that very often at all.
Swing and a miss. Bogart's down on strikes for the second time today.
That second time he's got Xander on high knuckleballs. They say when it's high, let it fly. Bogarts has done that, but no contact yet. We can really see how much he missed that knuckleball by, too, quite a bit.
So with 2 down, Betts at second base, and here's Big Papi David Ortiz, who lined out to right in the first inning, getting his second look at Dickey today. Blue Jays in the shift on the right side. Straight away in the outfield. Throw to second, and back at second base is Betts.
Now Russell Martin's got a very good throwing arm, and he likes to show it off, and that time almost had Betts at second base. They caught Betts with a big secondary lead, as you can see right there. Comes up firing, but Betts able to get that hand back in just in time.
So Mookie has had an eventful second base time right now as he gains his lead again, and a swing and a miss for Ortiz makes it 2-1. Today's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. David Ortiz career ranks as a visitor at the Rogers Center, first in doubles, home runs, RBIs, and extra base hits. Betts has been tested a few times at second base and now gains his lead again. Ortiz fouling it back, 2-2.
Ortiz with 3 career home runs against R.A. Dickey. Had a home run swing on that last one.
High fly ball down the right field line. Cliff Pennington in the shift into foul ground. The second baseman puts it away. Red Sox lead Betts at second base. Scoreless through 2.5. $100 gift card from Nesson for the Yucky Way team store. First pitch from Miley is drilled to right field off the bat of Cliff Pennington, and back to make the catch is Mookie Betts. He got a good jump. He gets back there and makes the grab on a ball that appeared to be over his head out there in right field, but he gets back there.
Yeah, when I looked at the position of Mookie Betts and where he was playing and where that ball was hit, I didn't think he had a chance to get to it. But again, that closing speed by Mookie Betts, this time in right field, with that ball slicing away from him just a little bit. See where he's playing, how shallow he's playing. He just takes off on contact, and that ball came back a little bit to him, and he's able to make the play.
Well, second straight start in right field for him, and that's really his first test out there that we've seen.
That's a good example, Don, what we were talking about last night, the different angles, obviously, than you get in center field.
And Revere with a single in the first inning, the only hit so far off Wade Miley today. He was left at third base as the Blue Jays stranded a pair in the first. Miley had a 1-2-3 second. Now 1-1-2 Revere. That'll miss. 2-1.
Tries to cut fastball that time down and away.
Line foul. First start here as the pitch is on the ground, foul outside of first. On the ground right side, Pedroia backing up on it, throws out Revere. 2 down here in the third inning. Well, follow the Red Sox for the rest of the season with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet today. Two down, 7 in a row retired by Miley now, and it brings up Josh Donaldson, who struck out looking in the first inning. It's a ground ball, couple hops to third. Holt backs up on it, plants and throws, and gets it there in time. Miley with another easy inning. He's retired 8 straight. Good things are happening to local people at easternbank.com/goodthingshappen. Back in Toronto without a score. Into the fourth inning we go, and Travis Shaw bloops one out to shallow left center, and that's going to fall in. Revere backs off on the artificial surface and lets it hop down onto that surface, and Makes the grab on a hop. Shaw's got himself a leadoff base hit.
Yeah, big swing. Very little action for Shaw on that, but good placement between the shortstop and the left fielder. Here's the big swing and just a little bloop that drops in for the base hit. Be careful too for those bounces on the artificial surface.
This does not appear to be as bouncy as it once was here when it was very hard.
You know, you guys were telling me the first time in here it was really slow.
Yes. And
it seems like it's picked up speed a little bit now that it's settling in.
Still have the big seams here in the infield that you can see. As a fly ball out to center field. Pilar coming in. And he'll make the catch for the first out here in the 4th inning. So Shaw back to the bag at first, and that'll bring up Brock Holt. You see the seams, and there's no doubt when it hits him that it changes the direction.
Yeah, it certainly does. I'm surprised those weren't corrected when they put in the new artificial surface.
First time in here, Jerry, a lot of guys are complaining about the stuff coming out from the rubberized stuff that comes out from the artificial surface up into your eyes.
It's ground up rubber, right?
Yep. You still see it on bouncing balls, but it's not as bad as it was earlier in the year. Brock Holt flied out to the left fielder Ben Revere in the 2nd inning. A 1-pitch foul back, and you still see it spraying as it hits the turf.
You see that ground up rubber that's underneath the artificial surface come up. It's kind of grass to get for your house. I mean, it really is. Never have to cut it. Don't have to water it.
No maintenance whatsoever, really.
Absolutely nothing. Just put it, slap it in the front and backyard.
Just roll it out there.
Yeah.
Runs up and away, and it's 2-2. Mike Swihart waiting on deck here. Red Sox batting in the top of the 4th inning. Took 50 pitches to get through the first 3 innings for Dickey. Now working here in the 4th. And a fly ball to left field, sending Ben Revere back. Still going, but he'll get there. In front of the warning track. And Shaw back to first again with 2 down. That ball carried pretty well. H.B. Hood salutes the Red Sox Foundation's commitment to 4,900 accredited charities throughout New England. Two down, Shaw at first base, and it brings up Swihart, who singled to right field in the 2nd inning. One of 4 hits allowed by R.A. Dickey so far in the day. In the air, down the left field line. Revere headed over towards the line. He's got a play, and he makes it to end the inning. So Dickey works his way around a leadoff base hit. We're still scoreless. Eastern Banking. Get $100. Just text money to 36698. It's on to the bottom of the fourth inning back at the Rogers Center in Toronto. Wade Miley with a curveball in there for strike one to Jose Bautista. Bautista walked in the first inning, the only walk allowed by Miley today. Eight in a row retired by Miley. Popped up foul, backing out of play to the right. Encarnacion, then Colabello. Expected here in the Blue Jays half of the fourth inning. Red Sox have 4 hits. The Jays have been held to 1. Now fly ball to deep left field. Castillo going back onto the track, and he will make the catch shy of it. So Bautista gives it a ride, but he's out number 1.
Yeah, it sounded good when it left the bat, looked good when it left the bat, but just kind of dying out in the outfield. It's a changeup, and it's a little bit toward the end of the bat. And that gives Castillo a chance to get back there and make the play.
(1-0). And that'll miss downstairs. 2-0 to Encarnacion. Flight out to right field in the first inning. 0 for 1. Takes the strike. 2-1. 9 in a row retired now by Miley. Only hit he's given up Ben Revere, a leadoff base hit, bottom of the first inning. And he walks Encarnacion. Second walk given up by Miley. We'll see Dennis Leary, Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Wright, and more at the 21st Annual Comics Come Home at the TD Garden on Saturday, November the 7th. Proceeds benefit the Cam Neely Foundation for Cancer Care. For tickets, visit Ticketmaster.com. 1 out, a runner at first base, and Chris Colabello coming up. Added into the fielder's choice in the first inning. The shin guard on the inseam of that left leg, front leg, in the batter's box for Colabello. Encarnacion held on to first by Travis Shaw with 1 out. A little bit low for ball 2. Just getting up over 50 pitches now is Miley at 51. Good size gap out in left center field for Colabello. 2-2.
Another good changeup by Miley. He's had a very good one today, and all have been down in the zone. Down or out of the strike zone. Really an off-balance swing there by Colabello.
Full count. Russell Martin waiting on deck. 1 down here in the Blue Jays' 4th inning. Foul down the right field line, out of play.
We often see tactics of guys that work very quickly and how hitters try to slow them down, and I never really believed in that because I don't think the pitchers really care that much. Miley's ready to go. Colabello taking his time. Now he's telling the umpire to wait till he gets ready. Miley just ready to go.
And he loses him outside. Back-to-back walks allowed by Miley. Let's see what kind of trouble this causes Wade Miley, trying to work his way around back-to-back walks with one out here in the fourth inning, and Russell Martin coming up. Martin struck out swinging in the second inning, 0 for 1. Takes ball one.
That's a good pitch there. That should have gone Miley's way. Breaking ball, curveball inside part of the plate. Did not get the call.
Second time in his career that Russell Martin has had 20 home runs. His career high is 21. He's one shy of that as he takes the strike. Didn't like the call. Two on, one away, and a 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, gathered by Swihart, and it evens at 2-2. Walk by Encarnacion, broke up a string of 9 in a row, retired by Miley. He proceeded to walk the next batter in Colabello. On the ground left side, Bogarts will go to second for 1, on to first for 2, a double play with the catcher running, so he does work his way around 2 walks, still scoreless. By Bank of America. We go back to June 3rd of 01. Manny Ramirez hit this home run off New Hampshire's Chris Carpenter in the top of the fourth inning. Red Sox went on to win the game 5-4. The longest home runs ever hit here at the Rogers Center at the time, known as the Sky Dome. And of course, Manny in his first year with the Red Sox in a mammoth blast out there. And of course, they used to tarp those seats out there and cover them up. They don't anymore because they're selling out here once again in Toronto.
That was an absolute bomb. You could have chopped that thing up and made 5 home runs out of it.
Absolute blast. Jackie Bradley Jr. with a big swing. Struggling right now. He is 0 for his last 20 and 1 for his last 25. Rounded out to second base in the second inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Bradley this morning was spending a lot of time with Chili Davis watching video prior to the ball game in the Red Sox clubhouse.
Strikes out first out of the 5th inning, 3rd strikeout for Dickey.
And the tough thing is you know, when you try to bring a game plan into a game, it's tough to do it against a knuckleball pitcher because, you know, it's just not the same. That knuckleball up and in the Bradley swings, no contact.
4 in a row retired by Dickey. Mookie Betts has got a base hit, one of the 4 the Red Sox have today. He grounds it foul outside of 3rd. Grounded out to 3rd in the 1st inning, then singled in the 3rd inning. Took 2nd on a pass ball charged to Russell Martin. Overall, has done a pretty good job here today catching R.A. Dickey.
See what the catchers do when they catch knuckleballs. They try to tilt a little bit to the side. You'll see he'll set up square, but then move that right leg back a little bit. It gives them a little bit more mobility. You see that right there?
Yeah, I never understood it. As this is grounded back to Dickey, he'll go to first. And they're 2-way. I remember Belly doing that all the time. He was almost more to the side.
It's almost like an infielder, you know, or when you kind of open up a little bit to go in one particular direction, you know, because the knuckleball has a tendency to run away a lot of times, and it gives them a little bit more mobility to get out there and make a catch on it. A little more flexibility for the catchers. You see just about all of them now, they catch knuckleballs trying to do that.
Well, Dustin Pedroia tripled in the 1st inning, but was left at 3rd base. Grounded out to short in the 3rd inning, 1 for 2. Picks up the corner.
Another thing you'll notice too is catchers don't reach for the ball, or they shouldn't try to reach for the knuckleball. Let it come to them.
Line and caught at 3rd by Donaldson. A 1-2-3 5th for Dickey. Halfway through without a score. Kevin Pillar leading it off here for the Blue Jays. Ryan Goins, Cliff Pennington, bottom 3rd of the order. Riley's starting this inning at 60 pitches. Pillar getting his 2nd look at Miley. Struck out swinging against him back in the 2nd inning. Went around 0-2.
That's another good curveball by Miley. He's got very good stuff today. Over the top curveball. You don't see this very often from him. He's thrown about 2 or 3 of them today. That's been very, very good. Almost always fouls that up with a fastball inside.
We're back in again. Too far inside. 2-2. Jackie Bradley Jr., center fielder, over towards right center. Or Pilar to go the other way. Rounds it foul, left side. Well, the Red Sox family 4-packs are back in their special packet. Fans will get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas for $75. It's a great deal, even available for Fred Lynn bobblehead night on Tuesday night. Tickets are available at redsox.com/family 4-packs. Third full count of the day for Miley. To left field, Rusney Castillo makes the catch for the first out of the 5th inning. So Pilar retired and Ryan Goins coming up. Goins grounded out to Pedroia at second base in the 2nd inning, 0 for 1. Close pitch, called the ball, 2-0. Goins playing in the absence of Troy Tulowitzki at shortstop pretty much every day now, after being used in a series of different capacities earlier this year. They're hopeful to get Tulowitzki back sooner rather than later. There's ball 4 and a 4-pitch walk. That is the 4th walk given up by Miley. Injury to Troy Tulowitzki that has him currently not with the club, as this is a collision with Pilar in center field, the injury to his shoulder blade. And here with the club after getting checked out further. This one gets away briefly from Swihart. So he's feeling a lot better, can lift his arm now. Before he couldn't even really move it for a while, but feeling better, and it seems like he's making strides just about every day, heading in the right direction, and they would love to have him back as soon as possible.
That was really kind of a strange play, wasn't it? It was almost like a late reaction by Tulowitzki when he went down. It's like they made contact, he just kind of froze and then fell backwards.
Pennington takes the strike, and it is 1-1. Heading out of the number 9 spot. Flied out to right field, and Mookie Betts in the 3rd inning. Strike 2.
That's one of the few borderline calls that has gone Miley's way today.
There is strike 3. Well, Pennington didn't like it. He didn't like strike 2 either, but he liked strike 3 even less.
Yeah, I think strike 2 was the problem. Strike 3 was good. It had plenty of the strike zone and inside. I think the second strike is the one that could have gone in Pennington's direction. That's the 3rd pitch of the at bat. And now the final pitch of the at bat is a fastball that does get the corner. And the correct call made.
So 2 down, runner at first, and Ben Revere the batter. Revere has singled to center, grounded out to second base, got the only Blue Jays hit in the game as they bat here with 2 outs in the 5th inning. That one kind of froze him. 1-1. One and two. Pilar flied out to left. Goins walked. Pennington striking out looking. Swing and a miss, and striking out to end the inning is Ben Revere. 5 Ks from Miley, scoreless through 5. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Back in Toronto in the Rogers Center, no score into the 6th inning. And Xander Bogaerts drives one to deep left field. Back goes Revere, looking up, and it is gone. Home run for Xander Bogaerts, his 6th of the year. And the Red Sox jump on top 1-0.
Again, there's no way that Bogaerts was going to get 2 strikes on him in this at bat. First knuckleball he sees, and again, it's up in the zone. Gets the home run. Very first pitch, the high knuckler. That's what struck him out in the first couple of bats, but that one stays inside, and Bogaerts puts a charge in it.
Well, in honor of David Ortiz's 500 home runs, Alltown will double their $500 donation to Boston Children's Hospital. Alltown, New England's premier healthier convenience retailer. So one hopper into the shift. Pennington from right field throws out Ortiz. So one down. And Xander Bogaerts has broken a scoreless tie here in Toronto.
You know, how many times we mentioned this, Don, but when you strike out a couple of times back to back, you're not waiting around for 2 strikes again. And that time Bogaerts jumped on that first knuckler that stayed inside.
Now Travis Shaw batting for the 3rd time today. He was grounded out to second, singled to left, 1 for 2. Fly ball center field. Pilar over into left center for the 2nd out of the inning. We'll stay right here after the 3rd out of this inning for a special behind-the-scenes look at what happens in between innings. 2 down here in the 6th inning brings up Rusney Castillo. Rusney walked in the 2nd, flied out to center in the 4th inning. And fouls the first pitch back. Generally, you and I do a lot of stretching in between innings, Jerry. It's a good time to stretch to get ready for the next inning.
Yeah, we usually don't wait till the 7th inning stretch.
Driven in the air out towards left center field. Pilar on the run back towards the track, and it is Pilar steps in front of Revere to make the catch out there that ends the inning. A home run by Bogaerts. Don't go anywhere. Let's stay in the park.
It's
Toronto has a breaking ball. Curveball there from Miley starts this bottom of the 6th inning. Glad you can stay with us in between innings. As Josh Donaldson leading it off here in the bottom of the 6th. With Miley's pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. 5+, a hit, no runs, 4 walks, 5 Ks, 81 pitches. Difference in the ball game right now. The home run by Xander Bogaerts. Only blemish of this game for R.A. Dickey. Miley has tied a season high in walks here today, and it's a strike in there now. 3-1. Outside, and there is walk number 5.
And the only run of the day coming off the bat of Xander Bogaerts. First pitch knuckleball inside, and a nice easy swing by Bogaerts.
It seems like Miley has been battling his walks here today. Leadoff walk for Donaldson. Now Bautista will take a pitch in tight.
That's a little surprising number of walks, and he's getting away with them so far.
Walked 1 in the first, 2 back-to-back in the 4th inning, 1 in the 5th, and 1 to begin here in the 6th. High fly ball, center field. Bradley Jr. out there to make the catch for the first out. One on, 1 out, and Encarnacion coming up. Fly to right in the 1st inning, walked in the 4th inning. Shaw holding on. Donaldson at first base. Big swing there. Hand coming off the bat on that last swing.
That's a good changeup again from Miley, keeping it down and away from Encarnacion. Off-speed stuff today. His curveball, his changeup, very, very good.
Ooh, if Encarnacion hurt himself on that swing or not. Taking some extra time. Grimacing as well.
Sometimes when that hand comes off the bat, you hurt your wrist.
Driven deep in far to left field, and this will put the Jays on top 2-1. Encarnacion has gone deep for the 34th time of the year. The Blue Jays lead it 2-1. Pretty pain-free right now.
Yeah, that was a fastball from Miley into his middle hand, and Encarnacion hits an absolute bullet out of the ballpark. Number 34. That's 102 RBIs now on the season. There's the location of the pitch, inside, actually off the plate.
Now Colabello taps it foul at the plate. Battling some tender fingers has been Encarnacion. Missed a game against the Yankees last week with some pain in his fingers. That might have been the case, but certainly you didn't see it in the home run. A 2-run shot, and now has the Jays on top 2-1. Really trying to settle down here, and finally one of those walks comes back to bite him. Swing and a miss, soft balance cut there.
Colabello sitting all over the fastball on the 3-1 count and not getting at the changeup from Miley.
Russell Martin waiting on deck. 4th full count of the day for Miley. Colabello on the ground left side, diving is Holt, gets up, his throw is going to be in time. Well, Colabello wants this challenged. Al Porter on the call, and as it stands right now, he is out. And we'll see what John Gibbons is going to do.
First of all, it's a heck of a play here by Brock Holt to dive, get up, and make that throw, and a nice pick at first base by Shaw. Let's take a look and see if he's safe or out. Out. Looks like the ball was definitely in the webbing of the glove before the foot hit the bag.
Yep. And there'll be no challenge. Great play by Brock Holt. And we'll bring up Russell Martin as Colabello headed back to the dugout now. Good call by Al Porter. Russell Martin fouls it off to the right out of play.
Take another look at it. First to play by Holt, diving to his left. Gets up very quickly, and then Travis Shaw at the other end making a very good play.
So Martin 0 for 2, struck out swinging, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play last time up. He's down 1-2. On the ground, foul outside of third. Kevin Pillar waiting on deck with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. 100th pitch of the day from Miley. And Martin swings and misses, gets away a long way away. And Russell Martin is going to reach. That's all the way over by the Blue Jays dugout. So Martin strikes out, but he will reach.
That looked like a fastball to me, as we can see right here. And strange way to try to catch this for Blake Swihart. He puts the glove down. And it gets by him, and Martin makes it to first base.
Now Pillar gets the arms out of the way, takes ball 1. Pass ball charged to Swihart. Here's a strike. Jays have action in the pen. Mark Lowe, the right-hander. Blue Jays have taken the lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-run home run by Edwin Encarnacion. Ray Dickey, 79 pitches through the first 6 innings, now has a lead for the first time today. Good swing and a miss there for Pillar.
There's a good changeup again from Miley. Throwing it in fastball counts. And getting a lot of swings and misses on it.
Swing and a miss there, and he strikes out Pillar, but the damage done. 2-run home run for Encarnacion. It's 2-1 Toronto. By Bogarts. Walked 1, struck out 3. Here is pitch 80. And Brock Holt slaps it foul for strike 1. Holt 0 for 2 as flat out to left twice. Both times Ben Revere up to the task out there in left. It is Holt, Swihart, and Bradley Jr. expected in the 7th inning. Red Sox have action. Tommy Lane, the left-hander, warming in the pen. 106 pitches through 6 innings for Wade Miley. Well, before the plate, that bounced. 3-1. Swihart, then Bradley to bat in the inning. To left center field. Revere was towards the line, and that one's going to one hop up and over. A ground rule double. They had him positioned wrong that time in the outfield, and Holtz got himself a double. It's time for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's Furniture Store, the Boston Red Sox. Tom? All right, Tom, thanks very much. John Gibbons after the leadoff double by Brock Holt. Out to make the change. R.A. Dickey departs this game. So the pitching change from Toronto. Blue Jays holding on right now, 2-1. Blake Swihart with a check swing grounder right side. Pennington will go to first for the out. And on to third goes Brock Holt with now one down. This call to the bullpen brought to you by Kia. As Mark going to the game on one pitch, able to get one out. His 52nd appearance, 1-2 with a 1.60 ERA. 57 strikeouts, 12 walks. Opponents hitting at .225 against Lowe. R.A. Dickey coming out of this game after 84 pitches and none too happy to be out of this game right now. And a quick hook here tonight.
He had a quick hook back in Boston. Remember that?
Yes,
he was pitching very well in that game.
Infield in all the way around now for the Blue Jays. Jackie Bradley Jr. the batter. Strike on the outside corner.
By the way, good job by Swihart getting that ball to the right side and advancing Brock Holt to third base.
Bradley fouls it back, and it's 0-2. We go from facing the knuckleball to a guy who now is throwing 96 miles an hour.
I used to hate that. I really did, because it seems like they always brought in somebody that threw hard after a knuckleball pitcher and it looks twice as hard.
Outside for ball one. Fastball, breaking ball. Two and two.
And the last couple of pitches were off-speed pitches, change-ups, or split-fingered fastball, so you can add those to that arsenal list. Well, actually, that pitch was a slider. Just didn't do anything.
On the ground and off the glove. And Pennington into right field. From third comes Holt. Heading to second as Bradley. Throw goes there, and he will be safe. And the Red Sox have tied the score 2-2.
A great hustle there by Jackie Bradley. First a deflection off the glove of Pennington. That's going to slow the baseball down. So that means Bautista's got a long way to come. And it's actually the second baseman, Pennington, that gets it. But Bradley never hesitated, hustling all the way, gets in a scoring position. Rounds first base, reads where the ball is, and makes that decision all on his own.
He'd been one for his last 26. A double for him there. Now in scoring position in a tie game. Here's Mookie Betts. And he will take strike one. So that run is charged to R.A. Dickey.
You think he's a little ticked off right now?
Wow. So he ends up with a no decision in this game. And only threw 84 pitches. Betts will take the strike and is down 0-2. Yankees have won today 5-0 over the Mets. Blue Jays starting the day with a 4.5 game lead over the Yankees. Popped up right side. The first baseman, Colabello. 2 down in the inning. It's easy to start earning DD Perk rewards. Download the Dunkin' mobile app and enroll in any DD card and perks right on the app. Message and data rates may apply. Red Sox Nation runs on Dunkin'. Brett Cecil, the left-hander, up in the pen now for the Jays. Two outs here in the 7th inning. Brings up Dustin Pedroia. He tripled back in the first inning. Since then, he has grounded out. Last time, lined out sharply to Josh Donaldson at third base. Well, it takes strike one right down the middle at 97. $47,415. Another sellout here at the Rogers Center. 47,415. Last night sold out. Today sold out. On the ground down the third baseline, foul. Dickey went 6+ innings, giving him 6 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 3 Ks. 84 pitches. Not part of the decision. One-two pitch. Pedroia fouls it off, stay alive, and a lunge after that.
And you can see Russell Martin setting up outside. That's where they started the breaking ball, and by the time he got to Pedroia, it was well off the plate. Watch where Martin sets up. They want this ball away, the breaking ball, and lines up a couple of baseballs off the plate.
Pedroia strikes out, lunging again. So a run for the Red Sox, who tie the score 2-2. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Your local Subaru dealers. And by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. Now the Red Sox have tied the score with a run in the top half of the 7th inning. It's now 2-2. And on to the bottom of the 7th inning we go. Red Sox out hitting the Blue Jays 7-2. As Miley back on the mound. In a tie game, and Ryan Goins leading it off here for the Blue Jays. This is at 107 pitches now. There's a ground ball right side. It is Pedroia for the first out here at the bottom of the 7th inning. Double barrel to action. Tommy Lane joined by Noe Ramirez. Well, don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC, Jim Rice, and Steve Lyons will break down today's game. You'll hear from Wade Miley. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason? With Pennington batting with one out here in the 7th inning. Pennington has fly to right and struck out looking. Driven to right field, and that is a foul ball. Just a few feet to the right of the line. On a strike now to Pennington. And a ground ball softly towards Bogarts. His throw in plenty of time. 2 down. Tuesday is Fred Lynn bobblehead night at Fenway Park. All fans in attendance received a special 1975 season bobblehead of AL MVP presented by Old Dominion Freight Line. Visit redsox.com for tickets. 2 down here in the 7th inning for Ben Revere. Singled back in the 1st inning. Since then he's grounded out and struck out. Ground ball by the mound up the middle as Pedroia ranges, throws off balance, and not in time. Beaten out by Revere. The call. We'll see if the Red Sox challenge.
Another close play at first base for Al Porter, and this time he calls him safe. Looks like Torey Lovullo's going to go out and make a challenge on this particular call.
I think he may be making the change.
Oh, no challenge. You're right, Don. No challenge. Going to the right-hander in the bullpen.
So it is an infield hit for Revere. As Pedroia cannot throw him out. Second in for Revere. The pitching change here from Toronto, tied 2-2. The seventh inning. Josh Donaldson batting with a runner at first and a check over there, and back is Revere.
Now, one-run ball game. Got to keep your eye on Revere. He's got 5 steals since coming over to the Blue Jays. Has not been caught.
We'll see that away.
Yeah, very close to being thrown away. Nice play by Travis Shaw. Ball just sailed on him right there.
Ramirez checking in here for the Red Sox. 11th appearance, 0-1, 3.60 ERA. 11 strikeouts, 4 walks. Opponents hitting at .220 against Ramirez. Ball and a strike to Josh Donaldson, who has struck out, grounded out, and walked. On deck, Jose Bautista. There's last worked on Tuesday at Baltimore. Swing and a miss. Good pitch, 1-2.
Takes a lot off that slider. The slider at 78 miles an hour. See, way out on his front foot there was Donaldson.
Third stint with Boston this year in the major leagues for Ramirez. Throw to first and back to the bag, Revere. .30 games with the Paw Sox this year, 4-1, 3 saves. Runner goes, the pitch is a ball. The throw is going to be in time. Caught stealing. So Pedroia covers the bag. Swihart guns down Revere to end the 7th inning, tied at 2.
Hey, take another look at that, and you might think that maybe Rivera was safe. The hand got in, and then the tag, apparently by Pedroia, up around the elbow area. This might be the best angle right here. Let's watch the left hand. Does it get in first?
I don't know now.
Yeah.
Well, it's tough that way. I thought from the other angle that he was safe. From that angle, it looks safe.
Yeah, from that angle it does. That's the second time we've had a look at that angle. And we'll have to wait and see what the umpires call. That is huge. That could have been the third out, or should be the third out of the inning. Instead, it could be a man in scoring position.
See, on that one, he looks out to me. It just depends how you look at it.
What angle you're looking at, right?
Exactly.
That one he looks safe.
We'll see if they have enough to overturn this call. As it stands right now, the call on the field is out. Arno Nor, the umpire at second base, making the call.
That was a beautiful throw, too, by Swihart. Right on the money.
Challenged by John Gibbons here, and it's taken him a long time. He's still out. So they're not seemingly conclusive enough to overturn it. And caught stealing Ben Revere. He tied 2-2. Xander Bogaerts leading it off here in the 8th. And Xander taking strike one. Xander struck out in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd, homered in the 6th inning. In there for a strike. Well, working the 7th inning relief of Dickey is double-barreled action. Brett Cecil. And Roberto Osuna is now up in the pen for the Blue Jays. He's got 16 saves on the year. 0-2 pitch. He reaches out and lines one to first. Knocked down by Colabello, and he will apply the tag. Running inside that time was Bogaerts trying to get away, and he's banged up on the play. A little bit of a collision there. Masai Takahashi, the trainer, meets him at the line.
Yeah, this is kind of weird right here. Colabello has a tough time getting the ball. Once he gets it, the behind the back tag. Torey Lovullo's out there questioning something right now, and I don't know what it is, because the fielder has a right to field the baseball.
So he's not obstructing.
I don't believe so, no.
John Gibbons, after the out here, makes his way to the mound, and we will have a pitching change. So that is it for Lowe. He goes an inning and a 3rd and departs here in the 8th. Game tied 2-2. Jerry to reflect on his 500th career home run. One down here in the 8th inning. David Ortiz, the batter. And a breaking ball in there for strike one from Brett Cecil. 3rd pitcher used by the Blue Jays in the game. 55th appearance, 3 and 4. 2.83 earned run average, 56 strikeouts, 13 walks. Opponents hitting at .213 against Cecil. Blue Jays in the shift as Ortiz pulls off that, down 0-2.
That's a couple of good breaking balls right there from Cecil to start off Ortiz and quickly get ahead of him. Once again going into the curveball right there, hard curveball.
David getting a piece, staying alive.
And again, that's 3 straight.
Not much luck against Cecil in his career. He does have a home run against him. Travis Shaw waiting on deck. Swing and a miss. And Ortiz strikes out, 2 down to the 8th.
Now making 4 straight curveballs that time to David Ortiz. Not one fastball. And all of them away from Ortiz. Cecil's one of those guys that Ortiz just must not see the ball out of his hand very well. You saw the lack of success he's had against him, and well, he just stayed consistently with that breaking ball.
Well, 2 down here in the 8th inning. Travis Shaw, the batter. Shaw takes strike 1. Grounded out to second in the 2nd. Single to left in the 4th inning. Fly to center in the 6th inning. On the ground up the middle as Pennington ranges to his right. Little bobble. The throw is going to pull Colabello off the bag. So Shaw will reach here with 2 down in the 8th.
You know, when he throws that breaking ball, he didn't make a mistake to David Ortiz, but he made one there to Travis Shaw. He left it inside, and then it becomes very hittable. You can see the location of that breaking ball, and Shaw goes up the middle with it. We'll see how they score this.
Base hit.
It's actually a play that Pennington could have made. He got the ball caught in his glove, and that threw everything off after that.
Gibbons with another change. Game tied 2-2. This is not game tied 2-2. Well, it's only 179 against Osuna. He comes in to face Rusney Castillo. The runner at first and 2 down.
Now, not a lot of scoring today, but we'll take a look at the scoring today. First, Xander Bogaerts with a home run. This coming in the 6th inning off a high knuckleball that was inside from Dickey. But the answer came in the 6th inning with Encarnacion. A fastball that was off the plate about 4 or 5 inches. He lines it for a home run. Then Jackie Bradley Jr. for the Red Sox. A deflection off the glove of Donaldson, the second baseman. Run comes in. Bradley ends up at second base with a double. Been a good ball game here this afternoon. Really has.
Shaw at first base, held on by Colabello. And Rusney Castillo has walked, flied out to center twice. Osuna's 6th in the American League in opposition batting average, 179. Popped up left side of the infield. Ryan Goins, the shortstop, makes the catch and ends the top of the 8th inning. Remain tied 2-2. Jim sent in this photo from last homestand at Fenway. Tweet your photos now, brought to you by T-Mobile. Josh Donaldson, who is batting in the 7th inning when Revere was caught stealing, leads it off here in the 8th. And drives one to deep left field. It is down towards the pole, but it is foul. Just to the left of the pole.
Oh, did he have a turn on an inside fastball that time? And a line shot. But clearly hooking into foul territory.
He has struck out, grounded out, last time up, walked. Takes ball 2. Ball 3.
Very tempting slider that time, but not biting. Started to, but held up.
Gene Moxie in the pen. Ball 4. He walks Donaldson to begin things here in the bottom of the 8th. Leadoff walk. That is the 6th walk allowed by Red Sox pitching. 5 of them today by the Red Sox starter Wade Miley. Now Jose Bautista doesn't get any easier in this Blue Jays lineup. Bautista has walked and flied out twice. Strike on the outside corner. Big part, that was a ball. Did not call it a strike. Here's a 1-0. That is a strike.
Exact same pitch. That means that he missed it the first time. One's a ball, one's a strike. Same location.
Check on Donaldson, back to the bag. 289 late. 7th inning or later. Swihart having to lunge to his right. Now he's going to go pay a visit to Noe Ramirez. Stay tuned for Red Sox Final presented by Uno's. TC Jim Rice and Steve Lyons will break down the push to the postseason across Major League Baseball. Leadoff walk by Donaldson at first base. Jose Bautista ahead in the count here, 2-1. Tried to hold up. And apparently did. 3-1. They want him to check in, and Porter said he didn't go.
Actually, the pitch was not that bad. Looks like it had the top of the strike zone inside, but they were concentrating on the swing and not the call strike.
Ball 4, and Ramirez walks the first 2 that he faces here in the 8th. Two on, nobody out. Carl Wood's going to go out and talk to him as they prepare to deal with Edwin Encarnacion. Once Tomorrow noon, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. Xander Bogaerts will share his fielding tips in a special instructional. That's tomorrow at noon right here on NESN.
Fastball from Miley and a line shot home run. A two-run home run. His 34th of the season.
47,415. Most of them standing. 2 on, nobody out. Ball 1. Over that home run, a fly out to right and a walk for Encarnacion. That's a Donaldson at second, Bautista at first. There's a strike. And a fastball to get it.
And clearly trying to stay away from Encarnacion on those first 2 pitches.
Two and 1. Getting the final out of the 7th inning of the caught stealing of Ben Revere. A walk to Donaldson to begin this inning. A walk to Bautista. Nobody out. Fooled him on that. 2 and 2.
Well, location was inside, but it was an off-speed pitch. It was a changeup. That's what fooled Encarnacion. Not the location of the pitch, but the off-speed of the pitch.
Yanked it down and away, full count. Colabello on deck. On the ground, foul. Donaldson at second, Bautista at first. Base hit into left field. Donaldson being waved around. Here's the throw from Castillo. It'll be not in time. Blue Jays take the lead. Edwin Encarnacion drives in the go-ahead run.
Tough at bat, put on right there by Encarnacion. And a close play at the plate, but Donaldson got the hand in home plate. Here's a broken bat, base hit. They send Donaldson around third base. Good strong throw by Castillo, but the hand gets in obviously before the tag. Swihart diving for him, but it's too late.
First and second, still nobody out, and Colabello now the batter. Will foul it back and to the right. Colabello has reached on a fielder's choice, walked and grounded out to third. Bautista at second, Encarnacion at first. 2 walks to begin this inning for Noe Ramirez. Time call. Strike call. Colabello does not like it at all.
Changeup that time that appeared to be inside, but called a strike. Threw an Encarnacion, a changeup inside. Now another one to Colabello, and I think that might have been a gift for the Red Sox.
Yanks it away, 1-2. Late, seventh inning or later. And Russell Martin waiting on deck. Still nobody out here in the Blue Jays' eighth inning. They have taken the lead. Red Sox expecting Holt, Swihart, and Bradley Jr. in the ninth. Hoffman, no throw. He's got no play anywhere, but he saves a run by getting to that ball.
Nice effort by Bogaerts there to dive and keep that ball out of left field, because it probably would have been another run for the Blue Jays. Ball not hit hard at all by Colabello. Actually gets jammed on it, but no place for Bogaerts to go, as see clearly hustling in the third base was Batista. You can see that Bogaerts had made that play, and that's why he went into the slide.
Torey Lovullo out to make the change here. Blue Jays are taking a 3-2 lead. Patriots Week 2 matchup against the Bills. NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Runners at all the bases right now for the Blue Jays, with Batista at third, Encarnacion at second, Kawasaki pinch running at first, and Gene Machi into his 21st game of the year. 5.12 earned run average. Russell Martin taking a hack and fouling it off at the dish. Martin 0 for 3 in the game. 4 for 12 with the bases loaded this year. Blue Jays have taken the lead here in the 8th. Now ground ball foul. Bautista at third base, Encarnacion at second base, and the pinch runner Munori Kawasaki at first base. Pinch running for Chris Colabello. Martin with a swing and a miss, and Machi able to strike him out for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, 3 straight split-fingered fastballs for Machi to pick up the strikeout. There's that split, and there's the dip.
Bases loaded, 1 down, and Kevin Pillar, the batter. 0 for 3, has struck out twice and flied to left. 4 for 13 with the bases loaded. Infield in, and he's bunting at it, fouling it off.
And that was not a suicide squeeze. That was just bunting down to third base and hoping that he got the ball on the ground, but don't like to play it off. You see the runner stop when he saw him square around the bunt. I think they'd much prefer that he be swinging the bat in this situation.
Now he is, and sends a bloop out to short right. It's going to get in for a hit. From third comes Bautista. Throw is coming homeward, and the Blue Jays have taken a 2-run lead. Bloop base hit to right for Pillar, and it's 4-2 now, Toronto.
Hit very hard, but drops in front of Mookie Betts. Betts makes a strong throw to the plate. That's going to keep another run from scoring.
Another pinch runner. Looks like Pompey is going to pinch run here for Encarnacion at third base. Bases reloaded. Swihart headed to the mound to talk to Machi. Runs that have scored charged to Noe Ramirez, who's still responsible for the runner at third and the runner at second as Tommy Lane back up again in the Boston pen. Ramirez walking the first 2 batters that he faced here in the 8th. Now Lovello headed out there, so Swire was just buying time to get Lane some more time in the pen. And a slow walk to the mound. He'll make the change. So 1 out of the inning, 2 runs in here for the Blue Jays, who lead it now 4-2 in the 8th. Xander Bogaerts with a home run today, his 6th of the year. R.A. Dickey not part of the decision with the first 6, and Encarnacion with his 34th home run of the year. Blue Jays have a 4-2 lead, looking for more here. Bases loaded with 1 out. Goins grounds to second. Pedroia's coming home. The out there, throw to first, out there, and the double play will end this 8th inning, but the Blue Jays take a 4-2 lead to the 9th. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Back in Toronto with the Blue Jays have just gotten 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning, take a 4-2 lead. Justin Smoke takes over defensively at first base. Osuna back on the hill, get the final out of the 8th. Now dealing with Brock Holt to begin the 9th. There is strike 1. Brock has flied out to left twice, doubled and scored. He scored to tie the game 2-2 in the top of the 7th inning. Now the Red Sox trail by 2. Ground ball foul. And Tommy Lane getting the big double play could have been a lot worse. He came in a bases loaded 1 out situation. Ball 1. Swing and a foul tip and hit the ground, according to Dan Isanya. Martin not able to field it before it hit the dirt.
Another look. It's an off-speed pitch and apparently fouled by Holt. Split-fingered fastball, as you can see. And yes, it was. I didn't see the contact on the original play, but you certainly see it on the replay.
Outside for ball 2, 2-2. After Holt, Blake Swihart, and Jackie Bradley Jr. Ball 3. Suna missing at 96 miles an hour. Payoff pitch. And a fly ball headed out towards left field. Ben Revere going back, and that is going to be off the bottom of the wall. Pilar plays the carry, but into second base with a leadoff double goes Brock Holt with his second double of the night.
Yeah, double in his last at bat in the 7th inning. Now a leadoff double here in the 9th. Gets that fastball. Oh, you just think back a couple of pitches, how he fouled that pitch off, gave himself a chance, and then rattles this right off the bottom of the wall out there, 375.
Holt at second base. Blake Swihart coming up. Single to right in the 2nd. Fly to left in the 4th inning. Grounded out to second base in the 7th. Bouncing in, blocked by Russell Martin. Greg Breslow up in the pen for Boston. The Sox have used Noe Ramirez, Gene Machi, and Tommy Lane in relief of Wade Miley. Swing and a miss. Fastball that was up. That's tomorrow, 12:30. Don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TC, Jim Rice, and Steve Lyons will preview Rich Hill's start against the Blue Jays. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? A 1-1 pitch. Fly ball foul down the left field line, out of play. Suna's a guy who's used to going multiple innings for John Gibbons. Came in a tie game. They're trying to finish it off and get the win.
Yeah, only had to make a couple of pitches there in the 8th inning.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3 call. We're at the bottom of the zone, 1 out in the 9th. Swihart says some things to Ayasanya.
Yeah, it looked like a good pitch. It was nasty. There's no question about that. Right at the bottom of the strike zone. You'll see it on the Mika pitch zone, and it looks low to Swihart, but it does get the strike zone.
Runner at second, 1 down. Jackie Bradley Jr. doubled to drive in the game tying run at the time in the 7th inning. Well, swing and a miss. Fastball at 97.
That's the best fastball he's featured so far, velocity wise at 97. Inside to Bradley in a very late swing.
Strike 2.
97 down and away.
Eric Sanchez in case. Not chasing, down and away. Same velocity, not the same location. Holt double to begin the inning. Swihart struck out. 1-2 pitch. Look out. Spins him out of the box. That was at 98.
28. I don't know how you have time to get out of the way. Bradley Jr. just barely getting out of the way of that fastball.
In the air to right field for Bradley Jr. Bautista turns and watches that go. A two-run home run for Jackie Bradley Jr. and the Red Sox have tied the score 4-4. Huge home run for Jackie Bradley Jr.
Wow. That ball was crushed by Bradley. He saw nothing but fastballs from Osuna in that at bat, and he was geared up for it. He finally gets one down the middle of the plate. Right smack down the middle. So whatever he and Chili Davis were talking about today prior to the ball game, it's worked.
For the score with one out. Betts with a swing and a miss. We'll give the single back in the third inning. 1 for 4 in the ball game. Outside 1-2.
And Bradley with 3 RBIs, 3 of the 4 runs driven in by Jackie Bradley Jr. tonight.
Sanchez continuing to warm. He had been 1 for his last 26 prior to the double in the 7th. Now a 2-run home run that has tied this game here in the top half of the 9th. Looking to the bottom of the 9th inning, Pennington, Revere, and Donaldson scheduled to bat in the inning. Alexia Gondo and Robbie Ross Jr. now are up. Betts hits a ground ball right at Pennington at second base. Low throw, and Smoke has got it on the bag for the out. He was able to dig it out, keep the foot on the bag, and retire Betts. 2 down.
I'll tell you, there have been some pretty bad throws by Pennington to first base in this game today, and here's another one saved by Smoke. And he almost gets run over, Smoke does, by Mookie Betts going down that first base line, but he does have contact with the bag when he makes the catch.
Now Dustin Pedroia with 2 down. He will take a pitch outside for ball 1. Pedroia the triple in the first inning. Since then, a ground out, line out, and a strikeout. Close pitch, called the ball. Ball 3, 3-1. This next pitch will be the 30th of relief for Osuna. Came in to get the final out of the 8th. Trying to finish it off in the 9th. Now it's a tie game. Pedroia takes a 2-out walk. And here comes John Gibbons. Had Sanchez up in the pen. Going to make the move. With 2 outs here in the 9th inning, Red Sox have tied it up 4-4. Yankees fell victim to as a rookie. Plus, Sox catcher Blake Swihart reveals what he likes to do at home in the offseason. It's all tomorrow at 11:30 on NESN Clubhouse, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts. Jackie Bradley Jr. with a 2-run home run to tie the score 4-4. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. And the new pitcher is Aaron Sanchez. His 35th appearance, 7-6, 3.07 earned run average, 56 strikeouts, 42 walks, and opponents hitting at .223 against Sanchez. There is Xander Bogaerts with 2 outs and a runner at first, taking strike 1. Xander with a home run back in the 6th inning. It was off R.A. Dickey and his 6th home run of the year. Royer the short lead at first, held on by Smoke. On a strike now to Bogaerts. David Ortiz on deck. Inning started with Holt doubling off the wall and left. Swihart struck out. Bradley Jr. with a 2-run home run to tie the game. That's grounded out. Pedroia walked. Now Bogaerts lines it into right field for a base hit. Over is Bautista. Pedroia will have to stop at second because of Bautista's arm. And he does stop at second into scoring position now with 2 down.
That's the kind of hits Bogaerts have been getting against, unless it's a knuckleball pitch where he pulled it for a home run. Takes the fastball, takes it to the opposite field, and you're right, Don. Pedroia, no sense trying to go to third base on the arm of Jose Bautista. In scoring position at second base with 2 outs.
Two on, 2 down, and David Ortiz now with a chance. 3 for 6 in his career with a double and a walk against Sanchez. Shifting on the right side for the Blue Jays. Ball 1 downstairs. Travis Shaw on deck. Down and in, 2-0. Action in the pen now. Ryan Tepera warming up for the Blue Jays. They've used in this game Mark Lowe, Brett Cecil, Roberto Osuna, and now Aaron Sanchez in relief of R.A. Dickey. There's a strike, 2-1.
Not the kind of pitch that David wants. 2-0, a fastball away from him, looking middle in. 2 balls, no strikes. They go away from Ortiz for the first strike.
Ortiz to left field. Revere coming in. It's going to get in for a base hit. Pedroia's going to try and score. Here comes the throw from left. It is going to be offline and in safely as Pedroia to put the Red Sox on top 5-4. Big Papi drives in the go-ahead run.
What a great slide by Pedroia at home plate. David Ortiz taking the fastball the other way. It was down and away. It looked like it was going to be very close at home plate. It was very close. You see the ball's already in the glove as Pedroia touches third, but the throw's up the line. Pedroia gets around Martin, as you can see right there, and gets home plate with the hand. The sweep tag did not get a piece of Pedroia. That's a good job by Shaw on deck, as you can tell. He's telling Pedroia to slide away from the tag. Beautiful job by Travis Shaw. We mentioned it many times, Don. You got a job to do when you're on deck. Get out there and do it. And that's exactly what Shaw did there. He helped Pedroia on which way to slide, where the throw was coming in, and which way to go.
In the dirt, gets away from Martin, and coming from third base is Bogaerts. He'll score. The Red Sox able to add another run. So an insurance run now for Boston. Wild pitch. And Boston on top now 6-4 as they have scored 4 times here in the 9th.
Looks like they got to walk Travis Shaw now, according to John Gibbons. It's like a breaking ball that gets down in the dirt, gets by Martin. And Bogarts comes in with no problem.
And a pinch runner for David Ortiz at second base. Marrero pinch running.
I told you 3 innings ago this was a good game. This
You were
turned
right.
out to be a great game.
So putting Shaw on intentionally now with Rusney Castillo waiting on deck. Rusney will be the 9th batter of this inning. So down to first goes Shaw. Blue Jays had a 4-2 lead coming into the top of the 9th inning. Red Sox have scored 4 times so far. And now it is Rusney Castillo's turn. Rusney walked in the second, since then has flied out 3 times. Ball 1. Three of the 4 runs are charged to Osuna. Who is now on the hook. Looking to the bottom of the 9th, Pennington, Revere, and Donaldson. 9, 1, and 2. Anybody gets on, Bautista will have a chance. Fouled off. And it's 2-1. Marrero now running at second base. Shaw at first. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Castillo grounds it back up the middle into center field. A base hit. Marrero coming around from second. He will score, and the Red Sox take a 7-4 lead. Now a 5-run top half of the 9th inning. John Gibbons headed back out again.
Good job there by Lovello, pinch running for Ortiz too at second base, because had that been David at second base, he may not have been able to score on that base hit. Marrero, no problem.
So the pitching changed. 7-4. Red Sox have the lead. Visit aceticket.com for the best seats at the best prices. Ace Ticket, it's more than a ticket. Red Sox have runners at first and second with 2 down. And Brock Holt, who started this inning with a double, is back up again as the Red Sox bat around. A 1-0. Strike over the outside corner, maybe a little bit up. Ryan Tepera's 27th appearance, 0-1. 2.79 ERA, 21 strikeouts, 4 walks. Opponent's hitting at 184 against Tepera. Holt hits a pop-up into shallow center field. In comes Pilar to put it away, but the damage done. Red Sox score 5 times. The big blast. Jackie Bradley Jr. with a 2-run home run. $1,000 to the Jimmy Fund for every game saved this season. Everybody saves at Bob's. Bob's Discount Furniture, quality, choice, and learn more about Bob's at bobs.com. 7-4. The Sox have the lead. Robbie Ross Jr. into his 49th game of the year. 0-2, 3.79 ERA. Cliff Pennington leading it off here for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 9th. Now trailing by 3 runs. Pennington fouls it off down the right field line. So a save opportunity here for Robbie Ross Jr. There's 2 already for the Red Sox this season. There's the top of the order, Ben Revere, waiting on deck. 1-2 pitch down the left field line. Rusney Castillo will get there for the first out of the 9th. So Pennington retired. Back up top now for Ben Revere. Show of record right now for Boston. Tommy Lane, who came in to get the big double play, as it turned out, to prevent the Blue Jays from scoring any more runs, had the bases loaded, and at the time was a 2-run deficit for the Red Sox.
Yeah, things were not looking real good for the Red Sox at that point, and Lane with the big double play with the infield in.
Here is Ben Revere, who takes strike 1. There are the 2-hit day, both singles. 1 to center, 1 in the infield to second base. 1 for 7 against Ross in his career. on the ground right side. Pedroia on the high hop. 2 down. Now let's take a look at the Toyota play of the game. Red Sox trailing by 2 runs and a 2-run home run by Jackie Bradley Jr. and no doubter. Tied it up 4-4 at the time. Red Sox scored 5 times in the 9th to take a 7-4 lead. 2 outs for Josh Donaldson now. Fastball up and in. Inside, 2-0. Rossman operating at 94 miles an hour. There's a strike, 2-1. Two outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Ross falling behind 3-1. Jose Bautista waiting on deck. And he walks him with 2 outs in the inning. That's the 3rd time in this game Donaldson has walked. Blue Jays needing some base runners, and they have one right now with 2 outs. Here's Jose Bautista. Fly ball headed out towards deep center field. Back goes Bradley Jr. and that is gone. 2-run home run for Jose Bautista. That brings the Blue Jays within 1. Not going quietly here in the 9th inning are the Blue Jays.
This team it's scary. I mean, these guys in the middle of the lineup, Donaldson, Bautista, and Canaccione, they can change a game with one swing of the bat. Very intimidating. Throw in center field. Conference at the mound. We had pitch run for Encarnacion in the 8th inning. Pitch hitter will be Haig here, called up from Buffalo. Matt Haig. A home run by Bautista is now 5 for 6 against Robbie Ross in his career. Haig will take strike 1, even though it glanced off the glove of Swihart. Let's try to settle it down here and just finish it off. To center field. Back goes Bradley Jr. to center, and he can't get it. It's up over his head. The ricochet, as he's trying to run it down, Haig will stop at second base with a double off the wall. Time and straight away center field goes Haig over the head of Bradley. He's going to track this ball all the way back as it gets by him, but Haig stops in scoring position at second base.
Ezequiel Carrera now pitch running at second base, representing the tying run. Justin Smoke now standing in. Takes strike 1. Alabello had been pinch run for by Kawasaki. Smoke took over defensively at first base. Bats for the first time. He's got 16 home runs. On the ground right side, Pedroia's got it on to first, and the Red Sox win. Robbie Ross Jr. gets out of it in the end and picks up the save. It was dramatic, but a 7-6 Red Sox win as the Blue Jays come back within a run, but it's not enough. We'll step aside and come back with more after this.